Welcome aboard. If you're just getting started with us, my name is Rosa. I'm your commentator. In the back, your wonderful driver up the front is Keithan. Please remember to remain seated at all times. That there's no eating, drinking, or smoking allowed on the Zoomobile. On our left-hand side, we pass the greenhouse, and as I mentioned, it is currently closed due to some renovations that will hopefully be finished in about a month or so. But some of the plants are outside the Wildlife Health Center, and the pathway is on your left-hand side as well. On our right is Shady Acres, a retirement home for two of the older Mongolian wild horses, and our Care Phoenix in Alexandria, also known as Grandma and Grandpa, to the rest of her that will be viewable up ahead shortly. We do try and give Phoenix and Alexandria as much privacy as possible, but sometimes as you come around this corner up ahead, you can look past the buildings towards the waterfront, and you might be able to see them over there. We're now entering the Zoomobile exclusive part of the ride that extra animals will not be viewable on your normal walking path, strictly by the Zoomobile. We're going to start by playing the fun game of hide and seek. Up on our right hand side, we're looking for two small black monkeys with white along their face and a bush at the end of their tail, which probably get the name of the lion-tailed macaques. There's two in this habitat. Their names are Gina and Gunther. They are brother and sister, and they do have access to other habitats behind this one, where they do tend to hide right from the Zoomobile. Lion-tailed macaques have a special pouch on the inside of their mouth that they can use to store food if they ever feel threatened, and they can put the same amount of food in their mouth as they can fit in their stomachs. Unfortunately, it looks like they might have won that round of hide and seek, but you can always try again later. Coming up on our left-hand side, we have a Zoomobile fan favorite. His name is Cedric, and he is the wattled crane. And he's there in the center of the habitat, walking a little bit closer to us. He gets his name of the wattled crane because of those spots of skin on the side of his face called wattles, and they can help indicate his mood. Like you can see they're long and floppy, which means he's good and happy. If they were short and rigid, he might not be in the best of moods, but that is pretty rare for Cedric. And wattled cranes can go to be up to 6 feet tall with an 8-foot long wingspan. And you may recognize the African wattled crane as the inspiration for Mr. Crane in the movie Kung Fu Panda. And we are getting ready to enter the Eureka drive-thru. We're going to be driving through the habitat of some of the animals in our care. So please remember to remain seated at all times, that there's no eating, drinking, or smoking allowed on the Zoomobile. Please keep all your arms, legs, heads, and belongings inside at all times. If you happen to drop anything, or I mean absolutely anything outside of the Zoomobile, whether that be a hat, a bag, a phone, a child, or a husband, do not get out to grab it. Call me to get my attention or the attention of your driver up at the front, and we will gladly wave goodbye to your things together. And also, if you have to call a keeper, come collect your stuff. It will take them some time to bring it back up to the front. So it's very important that you hold on to everything. As we're entering the drive-thru, we're going to pass over some cattle grates. It can get a little bumpy, so just hold on and enjoy the ride. If you don't hold on, you may fall out of the Zoomobile, and we will have to leave you here and raise you as the next generation of Zoomobile drivers.
Horse Alfred, look, it's coming. Look.
And we're just going to pause you for a moment. As we wait for the gates to close behind us, in this habitat you'll be able to see the West Caucasian tur, the domesticated Himalayan yaks, as well as some of the younger Mongolian wild horses. And I do see some of the Mongolian wild horses coming up first.
Hello?
Okay.
Hello?
Coming up on our left-hand side, we have the Mongolian wild horses. They're the only true wild horse left in the world, because all their species, of course, have been domesticated at some point in time. They're also a huge conservation success story, because back in the 70s, there were only 15 left in the entire world, 0 in the wild. They were almost extinct. But thanks to conservation programs, such as the ones here at your Toronto Zoo, we were able to successfully increase their numbers, and now there's over 2,000 across the world. And a new herd has been released in the wild in the Gobi Desert. And then against that fence on the left-hand side, you can see 2 of the West Caucasian tur. There's 4 in the drive-thru, and the other 2 are probably going to be sleeping up ahead. So I will just continue on about the yaks, which are the dark brown animals also on your left-hand side, and 2 of them are in the pond. There's 6 yaks in the drive-thru, and they're all female. So we do say that in the drive-thru, it is always ladies' night. And we know that females, our horns grow outwards and upwards. Male yak horns grow strictly backwards. There's another one coming up on our right-hand side. Female yaks also produce a pink milk, but it does not taste like strawberry milk. Don't ask me how I know. And they have very long and thick hair. It is so thick you can keep them warm in temperatures as low as negative 40 degrees Celsius. And humans can freeze in under 6 minutes in this temperature. And they are known as a beast of burden, as they can hold up to 300 pounds on their yak backs. Coming up on the left-hand side, up against the wall at the end of the drive-thru, you can see the other two West Caucasian Turf. And as I mentioned, there's 4 in the drive-thru, and they're all males. Their names are Turbo, Turn Up, Terminator, and Tornado. The male with the largest horns is considered the dominant male, meaning he is in charge. But I'm too terrified to go and check who it is. Once again, as they're exiting the drive-thru, we're going to pass those cattle gates again. A little bumpy. We also have female West Caucasian Terrier over in Eurasia. We keep the male and female herds separate to imitate what it's like in the wild, as they do only come together for mating. So if you get up for the next stop, Eurasia Wilds, you could head on over to the other habitat for the West Caucasian Terrier to see all the females as well as 2 bachelor males. Once again, we have to wait for the gates to close behind us. Also in Eurasia, you can see the Bactrian camel habitat. If you head on over to the camel habitat, keep an eye out for Carrie. Although she is pretty easy to spot, as she is only 3 months old. Carrie was born on May the 4th of this year. All clear? And since she was born on Star Wars Day, she was named Carrie after Carrie Fisher.
Look, anak ko.
And we're now pulling up to the Eurasia Wild Station. If you'd like to exit here, you can to see the red pandas, the Amur tigers, the Bactrian camels, and so much more. Please note that the next station is going to be back at the main station, but you can always go around again. But please keep in mind, we do only have a few more Zoomobiles for the rest of the night. If you'd like to exit here at Eurasia, please exit on the right-hand side, and the right-hand side only once you come to a full and complete stop. Once again, thank you so much for joining us on the Zoomobile, and this is Eurasia Wild Station. Once again, this is Eurasia Wild Station.
That's where the red pandas are. Which one do you want to see more?
See, are you having fun?
You want to see that?
Oh no.
Hah?
You just sit
Say
down.
goodbye.
Dito na tayo galing? Dito?
Eurasia. I think pwede ata tayo magbaba.
Left-hand side, we're coming up to the back of the Discovery Zone. This particular area is home to 2 alpacas and 1 miniature donkey. The alpacas' names are Reggie and Gerald, and Sterling is the miniature donkey, although he does believe he's an alpaca, and we just don't tell him otherwise.
Alfred Donkey.
You may recognize Sterling as he is pretty famous on the Toronto Zoo Instagram. He is up against the back tree there, and I can see Reggie's head poking out and Gerald's back. Sterling also enjoys spending his days walking around the zoo, especially on holidays when he can dress up as Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny. If you happen to see Sterling around the zoo today, feel free to wave hello and ask to take a picture, but just don't get too close. And unfortunately, there is no petting allowed. Hey, if you would like to pet one of the animals in our care, you can head on over to Goat World. On the left-hand side is the event center if you've ever wanted to hold a wedding, a corporate event, or any other type of event here at your Toronto Zoo. This is the place to do it. And then just after the stop sign on your right-hand side, we'll have the Amur tiger habitat. We have 2 in our care, Vasily and Mozzie, but they do have an indoor area which has air conditioning, and that's where they prefer to spend their days. But don't worry, as these areas are viewable from your walking path. Amur tigers are the largest species of tiger, as males can get up to 700 pounds. And if this name doesn't sound familiar, it's because they used to be called Siberian tigers, but were recently renamed because the population left in the wild can only be found in Russia, where the Amur River runs. And now on our left-hand side, we have the Screaming Child habitat, also known as the Splash Zone. It is included with your zoo admissions ticket, so you can feel free to stop by to enjoy some refreshing water fun. But please keep in mind that it closes at 6 p.m., where the zoo closes at 7. We're now at the Wild Human Crossing. If you do happen to spot any wild humans, feel free to wave hello, as I have heard that they can be friendly. And we're now entering the core woods. These woods are called the core woods as they're in the center of the zoo, and they are kept as natural as possible. Because when a tree falls down, we leave it there. So so that as it decomposes, all its nutrients are absorbed back into the soil, which encourages new plant growth. This makes the woods a great home for frogs, skunks, salamanders, squirrels, snakes, raccoons, and so much more.
Oh.
You may have also noticed that it got a bit cooler as we entered here. That's because the tall trees form a canopy of leaves above us, making this area 5 to 10 degrees cooler than the rest of the zoo. So enjoy the breeze while it lasts. And as we're getting ready to approach Main Station, just up ahead on your right, you will be the Sumatran tiger habitat. Sumatran tigers are the smallest species of tiger in their habitats over in the Indo-Malayan area, which is a very short walk from Main Station. And from the top of the boardwalk, you get a much better view. And in the next couple of days, we are reintroducing the Sumatran tiger as well as the greater one-horned rhino wild encounters. We're now pulling up to Main Station. As I mentioned, if you would like to stay on and go around again, you can feel free to do so, but the Zoomobile in front of us will be leaving first. So, if you'd like to exit, please exit on the left-hand side and the left-hand side only. But before you do, thank you so much for joining us and helping us with our mission to connect people, animals, and conservation science to fight extinction. We hope you enjoyed your time on the Zoomobile. We enjoyed having you. Please enjoy the rest of the day at your Toronto Zoo and the rest of your long weekend. Thank you so much. Exit on the left-hand side.
Ito na yun.
Exit na. Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay. Be careful, anak. Be careful.